and some of us knew her personally or since back in the beta days, and some of us knew her just through her videos or through her designs or just knew her through the mark that she left on other people. I knew her through Francis. I only had the opportunity to meet her once or twice in World, but I've always loved the way that he talked about her and their lifetime of togetherness, and he always spoke of her with such fondness and togetherness that it was impossible not to be touched. Diskey's left her mark on all of there and all of us, and we grieve for her loss, as well as for our dear friend Francis. And Francis, I keep trying to find the right words, but I can't because there are no words that will ease the pain. So I just want you to know how much she meant to us, even those of us who didn't get a chance to meet her, and how much you mean to us. And we want to be here for you however we can. And we'll remember her with you through all she's given us. And thank you very much for all being here. And anybody who'd like to say a few words, please feel free to just step on up. And I know Francis would like to say some words at some point as well. So whenever you're ready, Francis, and
sure, that'd be great.
whenever any of you are ready.
Give me a tough act to follow, why don't you? I first met Diskey, believe it or else, on the set of a movie. We were shooting a Doctor Who movie, and she was actually the girlfriend of the lead I had cast in this movie to play Doctor Who. And so she just came along, and I will admit that my first experience meeting her was, "Hi, hello, stand over here where I cover you in liquid latex." So yeah, that was kind of fun, actually it was kind of fun. Anyhow, we got around, I was like 19, what was that, 86, I think. And the next year we shot a sequel to that movie called Those Darn Daleks. You can Google it and watch it if you'd like to see Diskey. She didn't have to wear the alien costume in the second movie, so a little more acting. But basically, we had an awful lot in common. In the second movie, she had basically dumped the lead, who wanted to direct more than anything else, so he only played the part for a little bit, but that's really not important. What we had together was basically a life of television. Both of us were addicts. We taped things, we watched them over and over again, and we were both big fans of Doctor Who, and Star Trek and a variety of other things. Later on, Diskey's house burned down, and so she moved in with me, and in 1987, I at a TimeCon, it was a science fiction convention, we were at a panel with about 200 people standing around, and I forget what the panel was about. It wasn't about us getting married or anything like that, but there was like 5 people on the panel, so we, I popped the question in front of like 200 people, and typical Diskey sort of behavior, she then put it up to the audience for a vote. Do you really want me to marry this guy? What do you think? Thanks, hon. It took several years before we got married. We basically stopped making movies as we were out of college, and it was harder to find actors and actresses to be in it. And we were going to shoot a series, believe it or else, about a virtual world where Diskey was going to be a character who was assigned to follow the first person who was going to live like full-time, basically, in this virtual world. It's sort of an experiment. Anyway, it was sort of like a pay service by the hour, I guess, sort of thing, and no one had tried to live in there full time, so that was a big experiment. We never got around to filming that, but we sure did get into there when it came out, and that was just as good. It's like, well, who needs to make a series about something? We can all hang out here and do this. So we were in there, and pretty soon we started making movies again. We made lots and lots of movies, and then of course, they're closed, and filming that last week was really hard. We shot 2 movies, a feature and then part of another feature. Diskey was an absolute saint, and I should probably say that literally. The couple times I had to the hospital in 2009 and early 2010, um, she was just like a little angel taking care of me. And we were both very sad that final week when there was closed. And after they're closed, we had to finish Tiki Trek 2, and that was really, really hard to do without their being around. But basically, that was our sort of our last feature together. We were real excited when they came back, and we were just getting ready to do a new series, the Gorgon Chronicles. We've got a bunch of sets made and a few costumes designed, and Diskey was all set to play the robot, this rather mysterious sort of robot who's part of the crew and who nobody can really understand um, why a robot would be part of the crew. The last thing that we watched together, and we watched a lot of television together, was an episode of Doctor Who, about 2 nights before she had her collapse. And we were watching, it was the first one of the new season, Asylum of the Daleks. And we were rewatching it again because we wanted to see how the new companion was going to fit in, and she was in that episode and gets killed off. It was in the Christmas special, which we watched, and she did get to see that, and also gets killed off in that one, and is going to come back in this next episode, next month, and now Diskey's never going to get to see that. We were just really excited to see the continuation of that show. She really liked it a lot. But that wasn't to be. Diskey was also working on several rooms in the house. She hadn't actually painted any murals in our house yet. She has in several other relatives, but we were planning on selling the house, so she was fixing it up and making it look nice, and she went, well, there's still 5 rooms unfinished. And the fixing it up thing was the knowledge really that she had. She just says, oh, you paint this and you do this, and so I'm a little confused by all of that. I should point out that Diskey starred in over 28 Miracle Picture shorts and features, even more if you count the really short things like, Noob Hunter's Guide to There. I don't know, she did 4 or 5 of those. Those little short things are about a minute. Who counts those? But I don't know, maybe 35 movies. Here are some ones, and I know it's going to be kind of annoying, but here's a list of them, just so you know which ones she was most proud of. Her first role, she's not in Killboat. She was out helping her relatives in Texas at the time move into their new house. So her first feature film that you can see her in is The Noob Hunter, where she plays the Noob Hunter's wife. You can also see her in Mr. Tiki's Neighborhood, where she plays both Kitty Mew and Mrs. McFeely, the avatar with a very strange name. Next she did Brock Lee, Man of Tomorrow, Chapter 8, where she played Sally, the female lead, and the only one in the whole group which wasn't a complete idiot, of which there were a lot of idiots in that movie. And by idiot, I mean like idiot with a capital C, She played Holly Marshall in Land of Their Lost, The Quest. If any of you guys did that quest and watching the little video clues as it went along, that was fun. She played several roles, including the female lead, and I cannot remember if she had a name or not, in Their Wild Wild West, which we shot during the Wild Wild West Festival in 2004. She played Errol in Attack of 50 Foot Errol. She plays the yeoman, sort of a yeoman Rand character in Tiki Trek, and she plays herself playing the yeoman in Memories of Tiki Trek, which if you've never actually watched it, is probably one of the, it needs to be edited more, but it's one of the funniest things I think I've ever made, and she's great in it. The Beta 3 was mostly written by Diskey, and she played Emote Girl, the avatar with the ability to emote. She could emote at will. I guess that was made her special. It was also 2005. There's another title that she worked on for a couple months. It's still under NDA, and the role that she played is also still under NDA, but that was in 2005. I can't tell you about it. Romper Ball and You, she just played whoever, various team members. One of her bigger roles was in Mission Slightly Difficult, where she played herself, Diskey. That was a fun role for her. There's a lot of them. Uh, the Miracle Picture 2007-2008 preview, which some of you have seen but others have not, where she played Sally and then later Baja's best friend, and I love Baja. She was in the Machinima in there, of course, playing herself, the behind-the-scenes movie that we did about making movies in there. She wrote and sort of directed There Goes Our Lives, her take on soap operas. She played herself in The Wild Griefer. She was an Ultra Avi in The Giant Robo as Lieutenant Fiji. Fuji, sorry. Fiji. Yeah, that's an island. Never mind. Well, Fuji's a mountain. Oh well. And in Tanaftakwala, she played various roles, including the noob who keeps asking for a boat. Can I have your boat? She played Dorothy, and her biggest part was Dorothy in Wizard of Lag. And I think she's the only person in Wizard of Lag to play the part for the entire movie. I don't honestly think anybody else played Dorothy, except me. Well, one shot, anyway, where I play her stunt double. You haven't seen her in Ultra Avi versus the Mannequins from Space because we never finished that one, so someday maybe we'll finish that as she was in that. Flame Warrior Enters the Forums, where she plays the main character's sister. The Urban Jungle Cruise, where she played herself. Briefly in Maka Go-Go, where she plays the female police officer. Um, Dark Advice, which we filmed in City of Heroes. She plays the bride, sad there. And From There to Eternity in 2010, where she plays herself again, Disky. And of course, her last big role was Tiki Trek 2, where she plays the female lead, and which I don't think actually has a name, and Leela from Doctor Who, which we did manage to shoot a little bit of a Doctor Who thing in here before they're closed the first time. And her final role would have been the very short Miracle Pictures 9th birthday preview, where both Banshee Kate and her appear on screen, badgering the heck out of me. And out of all these titles, I actually asked her when she was dying, you know, hon, which one of these things meant the most to you? Which one do you think was the best role that you ever had? And she says it's Sally from Broccoli Man of Tomorrow. And she was really looking forward to filming Chapter 9, Spitwads of Doom. We were kind of holding off on that till after the series that we were going to be making next. To all you guys out there, I wish things had been different. I wish a lot of things. I guess I wish my life was a non-stop Hollywood movie show. You know, a fantasy world of celluloid villains and heroes, because celluloid heroes never feel any pain, and celluloid heroes never really die. Now, before you guys all start tearing up or doing whatever, you can check out this video of Diskey falling off a ball. If I can paste it. Hang on. Ah, there it goes. So, there. That should make you chuckle. Should probably always leave everybody with a laugh. I think Diskey would have liked it that way. Always leave him with a laugh. Thank you for organizing this, Sode.
Creativity. She was a never-ending font of ideas, like having a trailer with a star. I really enjoyed acting with her in all the movies that we were in together, and especially thankful for all the hard work she put in on Wild Griefer. Anyway, when it comes to creativity, we have all benefited in this world from her talent in the movies and from her art and her costumes and her items, benefiting for many years to come, I hope. That's and I'll miss her.
Thank you, Kate.
Well, I guess it's my turn to speak. Diskey was a really special lady. When I spoke to her just recently, just before she passed, we just I sat in bed, she was in bed, and she says, both Francis and her said, what can we do for you? I said, no, you just do what you need to do for yourself. They were always thinking of other people. Diskey and Francis are like two peas in a pod, and she'll be with us always in our hearts. Diskey, I met Diskey. I'm sorry. I met her in Beta, in the first fair, and we used to have some really fun times, and we'd go and we'd show each other our designs, and I was just in awe of her work. And then I found out she wasn't even using layers. Yeah, I know how to go without layers too, but she was just such an artist at what she did with her costuming and the animals that she created and all the wonderful, wonderful, wonderful design work that she had created and the pictures that she created. She was a very, very special woman, lady. That's the difference between woman and lady. She was a lady. She was always positive, right to the end. She was always kind. She was gentle. And she was a lot of fun at the real-life gatherings. Somewhere I have pictures, Francis, that I'm still looking for of the mannequin that she signed, that everybody signed at the real-life gathering. And I wish I still had the mannequin. But Diskey, along with a bunch of us, a few of us, I should say, went into the hotel room. We got under the covers, and Diskey was hanging off the end of the bed, and my friend took a picture of us. I've still got those pictures. I just don't know where they are. Anyway, she was truly a trooper, right to the end. And Francis, she will always be in your heart. And you know about the green frog. And I know that sounds weird to everybody else, but there was a very special thing that happened, and I can't go into it. But it was meant for Francis. And I hope you find the green frog. Anyway, it's great to see everyone here. So many of you I haven't seen in so long. Now, you guys better stay alive for me, or I'll kick your butts. Anyway, Francis, you are such a wonderful, wonderful, loving, caring, gentle, unconditionally lovable person. And I will always love you. And I will always hold Diskey and you in my heart, along with everyone here, no matter if I am alive or dead. All of you have made such a big difference in this world. We have become a community that even if you've been gone a long time and you come back for a day, or maybe a day or two, that you're not forgotten. I thought when I came back today, a lot of people wouldn't remember me. And my gosh, so many of you have remembered me. But it's Diskey's day today. Diskey, we love you, and we'll always love you, no matter what. I know that you are there in a better place and you are at peace. So we hold you in our hearts, and we hold you within the warmth of every day. I just don't know what other words to say, but she was one of the most wonderful, caring, gentle, here I am repeating myself. Anyway, there's so much more I could say. Anyway, I think I should give somebody else a chance. Thank you.
Thanks
For being with us. We'll take good care of Francis.
You got that right. We're always here for him.
Everything else is kind of superfluous. Except one thing I always remember leaving the airport. Well, actually, I didn't leave the airport for quite a while, but when we thought we were leaving, I remember Francis saying, "Diskey needs a hug." And I gave Diskey a hug. And I'm glad.
Gosh, you'd miss your connecting flight, though.
I can't hear anything except for you, Francis, just then.
Life is like that. But see, the thing of it is we all got Diskey with us, and that'll never go away. And we're all with each other. That'll never go away.
There we go.
Thank you, Rickman.
I think Disky always liked a good joke and a good story. And the only one I can think of for this occasion would be one that took back in the 1930s when a famous Hollywood producer died. Everybody hated the person. And a reporter was covering the funeral and noticed that everybody in Hollywood turned out for the funeral. And he was kind of surprised by this and noticed Red Skelton was there, and he asked Red if he could remark on how it was that such a person who was hated so much by Hollywood had everybody in Hollywood turn out for his funeral. Well, Red took a puff on his cigar and thought about it, and he said, "Well, I guess it just goes to show you, you give the people what they want and they'll turn out every time." We miss you, Disky. We miss you.
The real life gathering in Laguna Beach, and Michael Wilson was announcing we were getting card tables in there. Wasn't it Diskey who said she wanted solitaire because she didn't have any friends?
Oh, yeah, Diskey wanted solitaire in there. I think mostly because A, she likes solitaire, and B, because while you're waiting for somebody else to show up and play the game, you could do that at another table. But yeah, she'd been bugging their employees since Baloo back in 2004 in person. Can we have solitaire? They all thought she was joking.
I can remember everybody busting up that day. It was very funny.
She was being serious. She really did want solitaire. But it was a funny memory. Yeah. Actually, I have a video. Hang on one second. This is her in 2004 bugging Baloo about she wanted to be able to sell designs as an outfit, so you could buy the whole outfit, and she wanted solitaire.
I had a little story I wanted to say about Diskey in the spirit of, as Francis says, keeping them laughing. Speaking of Laguna Beach, real life gathering, I have a story. There was a hotel room that was reserved for community activities. It was a whole hotel room. It's kind of nice because I think uh, we wouldn't have to take over the lobby to do stuff. So they rented a whole room, and one evening a whole bunch of Therians gathered in that room, and we were playing a variety of games. Mackie was there, and I don't know, we're doing solitaire and cards and whatever, and there was a wedding reception taking place out in the courtyard, and there was a band playing, and there was music playing, and we had the windows open, and at one point, Dietrich and Disky and myself, we started jumping up and down on the hotel bed that was in that room. So we're just jumping up and down to the music, and everyone was laughing and giggling, and people were egging us on, and I think we were chanting bunny slippers, bunny slippers. Well, that was the kind of person Disky was. She was always fun-loving, and I always remember that. It was a lot of fun.
Thank you, Talos.
Thank you, Talos.
Even though she told me I couldn't act, always wanted to paintball me. Paid for a lot of my paintball gun things, ammo. And, huh? Can you hear me now? Can Disky hear me now?
Yes.
I don't know about that. Probably.
Well, Disky girlfriend, you know, I tried to get into a lot of your sci-fi movies, and you tried to paintball me, and I paintballed. We had a long, happy history here and there. I will miss her, Seven. Miss her very much. And if you need anything, Seven, just holler, okay?
Thank you. I will.
I think that
Thank you,
goes
Jan.
for all of us.
Here.
So, I didn't know Disky. I got to know Francis while we were working on the Real Life Plus stuff. And there's a few people in my life I've met that never have anything bad to say about anybody, and are just so respectful. And Francis is one of those people. And but I've known him for 10 years, and so Disky's kind of been a background part of my life for the last decade, even though I didn't know her. I knew she was there, and Frances has been my friend, casually for a long time, and then a better friend the last couple of years. And I'm sorry, and I'm here for you too.
could shoot you. Yeah, she ran I don't think a lot of people remember, but she ran a paintball zone for about 9 months. So yeah, she would lend people a gun that was full so she could shoot them. Well, oh, with them. I mean, but
Well, there are a lot of you who want to share your condolences with Francis, but not in front of a big crowd. Um, there's a lot of books that have been placed out, especially around drain damaged paths over there with a cross on it. Feel free to drop a book, and those comments are being collected for Francis. And also JR is around, and he's been taping, and if you'd just like to say a few words to the camera, you're welcome to do that. And just check out the paths that are dropped. They're just a little token of our memories, just a little token of how we feel. But it means a lot, even though there's not much we can do. So thank you all for coming, and just feel free to look around. And I'm sure the paths will be sticking around for a while yet. And you can come back anytime you like. And hopefully Francis will be coming and visiting us regularly, even during this hard time. He seems to have been wanting the activity, and I'm really glad that you're still around right now,
I am
Francis,
too.
in this hard time.
You know, when you're alive is the time to tell people that you love them. And you did that, Francis. And I love you. I love Diskey. There's so many of you I love so deeply. And I guess it's unconditional love, you know. You may not like the person sometimes, but you love the person. You know, that saying goes.
yeah, sure.
But everybody that's turned up today, oh my gosh, just remember that when you're alive is the time to tell someone you love them and not desert them.